going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Real quick before we get into the video, if you haven't done so yet, if you could hit that subscribe button, like the video as well, and also if you could leave any comments that you want to leave on there, I'd greatly appreciate it as ever. So yeah, I'm really appreciative of everybody that wants to stop by and watch the video, so thanks for that. So slightly depressing one today as we got beat 1-0 by a very, very good Sunderland team who set up perfectly to play against us. They had done their homework purely because of the basis of the thing that we always struggle with the most is teams that put a low block on us. When they put a low block on us, for some reason, we seem to really, really struggle with that low block. Then if you add into that fact that we've got players who just weren't at the races last night at all, I think for the first time in a long time, we looked a little bit tired, a little bit leggy, and you've got to be on it constantly all the time. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that's happened the way that it did. I think Ampadu probably had his worst game for a long time. He was slightly anonymous within the game. Kamara, the same. And also, see, now Melié's a conundrum because he pulls off an absolute wonder save for in the first half, and then in the second half, when you watch how that goal goes in, it doesn't make any sense. You physically can't work out in your head how that goal's gone in and the way that it's worked the way that it worked. The one real opportunity that we have, they had loads of men on the line to clear it off with Pirou. I do have, for all that I love Farke, I do have a criticism of him, and that is his almost seeming inability to make substitutes until after sort of like between 70 and 75 minutes. I don't know why he waits that long. Clearly, watching the game last night, we needed a bit of injection, something a little bit different. Nonto should have come on earlier for me. Anthony should have come on earlier for me. I don't know. It was just one of them. It's back to that typical Tuesday night, unable to win a game midweek on a Tuesday again, which was just, it was just a depressing performance overall. We just seemed tired, which was really strange. We didn't seem properly at it, which hasn't been like us at all. But with saying that, you've kind of seen it coming over the last sort of 2 to 3 games where people have just started to look a little bit edgy, a little bit tired. And unfortunately, one of the biggest problems that we have when other teams are playing a low block against us is that it completely isolates Pirou, just completely isolates him in terms of what he's there to do and his ability of what he's there to do. It was just a really, really strange game overall. We dominated possession against theirs, but again, I'll say the same thing that I've said before. It doesn't matter if you dominate possession or not. It's what you do with it that counts. And in some of the games that we've won this season, we've had less of the possession, but we've been more clinical with the possession that we've had, and we just weren't there at all. Gray had a tough time against Clark. Clark got him on a booking in the first half. Spence is a bit of a strange one. I don't know if it's because he's playing in a different position or how or what, but you can see the difference Sam Byram not being in the team makes in terms of that ability to get forward, the ability to chase the ball properly and lock it down. There were some people on Twitter saying that Spence just looked completely disinterested. I think that's just how Spence looks, if I'm honest. But I don't think he covered himself in glory. I know Rodon was doing his nut throughout the game because people weren't tracking back, people weren't chasing back in terms of how they were doing and what they were doing. We've just got to learn how to beat this low block and how to get the best of it and how to make the most of it. We didn't have the midfield like we normally do, but again, because of that low block and the positions of the players in terms of where they're sat in the field makes it difficult for us to do that. But we don't seem to have an alternative plan to be able to, facilitate being able to beat that. So just depressing overall. It also doesn't help that Ipswich have won. That's a 10-point gap now to the top two. Yes, there's still a long way to go. Yes, I think it's impossible for the top two teams to carry on through the season without having a wobble. Just in this league and the relentlessness of it, it does happen. You can't get away from that fact. It's just one of those things. Overall, I'm not going to sit and dig out all of the players and everything, because there's literally no point in doing that. It was a bad day at the office, but that seems to be the form for us. It seems to be that kind of 3 decent-ish games, 1 poor game, 3 decent-ish games, 1 poor game. We need to keep the consistency level going. And I think some of the players need to realise that you just can't switch off in this league at all. You can't have an off day. You can't afford to have an off day. And my only worry is at the moment is that whilst the system works and we're scoring goals and stuff, Piro's still... he can be a bit anonymous in games, and I think it was particularly evident last night because of the way that the block was being played. So yeah, we need to look at something just needs to be slightly different. And for me, we need to make subs earlier. We genuinely need to make subs earlier to try and inject something a little bit different into the game. I think bringing Nonto on and bringing Ante on a little bit earlier would have gone a long way to helping that situation out a little bit. I think the only player that really had a mildly decent game would have been Somerville again, but he's been outstanding so far the whole season. So yeah, disappointing, but we move on to the next one. Tomorrow's another day in positivity and all of that, but it's one of those things where I think we have to start thinking about, do we look at the playoffs, even though it's only December? See, December, this is the thing. January 1st is when you really start to kind of think of where you're probably potentially going to be ending up overall throughout the season. And yes, there is a very, very long way to go. It just Ipswich and Leicester are just relentless, and fair play to them. Absolutely fair. I mean, Ipswich in particular, Leicester I couldn't really care about. But in terms of Ipswich, just fair play. You can't have nothing but admiration for them and what they're actually doing. What they've done so far is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just wish they'd stop doing it so we could catch up. But we'll see. There's still a long way to go yet. That's going to do it for this one. Real quick and easy. We were too tired, I think, last night. We didn't play very well. We can't seem to beat this low block, which needs to be worked on. And we need to start making substitutions earlier, and we need to be able to revert to a plan B and a plan C a little bit better for these types of scenarios. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, as I said at the start, if you haven't subscribed to the video, if you could hit to the channel, if you could hit the subscribe button. If you are new and you want to leave a comment, please feel free. If you could like the video as well, just all helps with the algorithm. And as ever, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.